Eradi Nyankopon Israel. Mr. Break a clan and mention Deuteronomy 6:4. Deuteronomy 6:4. The original interpretation of Deuteronomy 6:4. And I said Deuteronomy 6:4 in the eyes of the ancient Israel. Deuteronomy 6:4 in the eyes of the ancient Israel. Now, you share Deuteronomy 6:4 now, Brofo Kasa Rebecca say, Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. Chi Rebecca say, Israel muntie erade ye Nyankopon ye baako. Na Deuteronomy 6:4 verse bia Rebecca say very common to Jews for because Jew ni bia ntete mu no ye mane recite Deuteronomy 6:4. Omo kan say Shama Israel Adonai Elohino Adonai Echad. Shama Israel Adonai Elohino Adonai Echad. It's a common to Jew for now a verse being so a very controversial, one of the controversial verses in the Bible. Yen Nikrani benya bear 4 interpretations of Deuteronomy 6:4. Interpretation di kind of eka said Deuteronomy 6:4 a claim monotheism. Monotheism no omo can say Deuteronomy 6:4 say Onyankopon enkwani Onyankopon. God is the only one. God is the only one. And in Chilimunsu, and I say second interpretation, a touch on the nature of God. Can say God is not indivisible. God cannot be divided. God is not indivisible. In Chilimu, Tosumi and Sano, can say eschatological or eschaton approach. And no can say the Deuteronomy 6:4 can say God will be the God of all people. And no omujina Zechariah 3:9 and Zechariah 14:9 so and edekase Deuteronomy 6:4 ekase Onyankopon beye amai nyina Nyankopon. God will be the God of all people. But Deuteronomy 6:4 it is not talking about the future. It is not a prophecy. Say a share interpretation 1 monotheism, 2 God is not God is indivisible. Near share the eschaton or the eschatological approach, and also so you said Nemi and Senina no see a cum year in Sisu Papa. Now the teacher a year first interpretation, and I said interpretation 1 a cast Deuteronomy 6:4 a crimo monotheism, and no nipa be bridge na so case Sajidi a case nyame ba sacro. Nyame eja nyame oba nyame nkonkron eni Bible mu anase Bible ni tia if we say Deuteronomy 6:4 kraka se Onyankopon eye baako. God is the only one. Nanso so say the medical kan se ye hwe Hebrew kasa no na ye dosomu ye a ye behunu say Deuteronomy 6:4 is not saying God is the only God. It is not saying God is the only God. And na se ye hwe kasa kra so a ye de tro se baako na machiremu kakra ewo mi book we mu the treason of the Godhead na baako no ewo Hebrew kasa no enye baako se de yeti ase ewo brofo kasa se single one, but baako no one made up of many, compound unity. It is here the kasa no create mu a Hebrew kasa na in context na it is not claiming monotheism, and it is not about eschatology. It is not about the indivisibility of God. But adia ba konso I say yehye nso eba Deuteronomy 6:4 me pese me de ebro na woti ase ne say yehwe ebla ye tro Deuteronomy 6:4 na no so ema yetse Deuteronomy 6:4 no ase yi say the medical ka say one professor bia we in before Bible mu kaye na nis na sem o kaye no emu do ye pa or say every book is a product of a time and place. Every book is a product of a time and place. Professor Ziba Crooks. Every book is a product of a time and place. It is your bra ye Deuteronomy 6:4. Any a bia ye na a mayin chimua a dear dance ye say Deuteronomy 6:4 is not claiming monotheism. And they say your bra ye Deuteronomy 6:4. And in the 4 Bible mu a dear dance ye say Sa ebreno and in the phobia say, I remember Bakudi, and in the phobia say Rabbi Daniel Zuka, anyone or Kika Hundia dance say, a bride Deuteronomy 6:4 Patrolman can we will broadcasting Kakra or say for the rest of Hezekiah's reign and on through the long reign of his son Manasseh until almost the very end of the Assyrian Empire. Jerusalem remained an Assyrian vassal. Mankind will say for the rest of Ezekiah's reign and on through the long reign of his son Manasseh until almost the very end of the Assyrian Empire, Jerusalem remained an Assyrian vassal. Ebra ye tro Deuteronomy 6:4 no ye bra na Jerusalem Manasseh Israel for ehye Assyria manpono ase. Na Israel and do omo se oman na omo hye Assyria, they were vassal, or Jerusalem remained an Assyrian vassal. Anunti no na eye brenso a amanamanya etwa Israel ho ahia no obia kase their God is one. One na omo kano, not that their God is the only one, but their God is number one. Sa breno eye bra na omo assign numerical values to their principal deities. Numerical values to their principal deities. Eti Assyria because womunyame pono, their principal deity is number one or is one. And na sabre no so na yenye bibi to say the merciful one, the holy one. Practices bia na akoye say omo ema omo nyame no nicknames. Omo nyame no nicknames and I say titles. Eti Assyria beka say omo nyame no the merciful one, the holy one. And I say he is the omo nyankopon one, meaning number one. And Israel so the elites, Israel in the four nyamesuma in the four penifo asabe na wo although omo aswe say omo pay allegiance to the Assyrians. Nanso so no na omo njintumu say Assyria nyankopon anase Assyria nyame no number one. Omo so gidi ekire omo say the God of Israel is one. Number one. It doesn't mean the God of Israel is the only one, but the God of Israel is number one. Enti I say enebrema ye beka ne say yenka ne say oman bi te say China beka say omanyame a omosom no anaso omanyame a omosom no enim say China ne titiri Buddha ye beka ne say oye number one. Ne bia US America omoso aka say omunyankopon omosom no number one. Ne bia Israel enebremu Israel omoso aka say omunyankopon omosom no number one. Enti akoye say sa oman we anani peko we say omunyankopon number one. We muso si yenyame number one. We muso si yenyame number one. Enti na bra they were assigning numerical values to their principal deities. Enti we si yenyame ye bako. We si yenyame ye bako. Enti bako no was not saying say their God is the only one, because enye Bible mu Deuteronomy 6:4 nkwana ekase God is one. Yebenya documents anase evidence anase nchichirimu bi ohonoma enyame na akana anase amaya akano omuso nyame omosom no omuso kremu say their God is one. Their God is one. It Deuteronomy 6:4 kase, hear O Israel, the Lord our God is one. In other words, hear O Israel, the Lord our God is the number one. The nyankopon ye bako ono the number one. We number one. Enti ye benya nyame ahodo Assyria fo mu nyame amaya kan wo mu nyame obia wo ni nyame nanso ye Israel fo ye de ye kremu say ye nyankopon number one. Ye nyankopon or ye number one. So ye tunim be say among the gods who is like unto thee, and the minimum no why na etisa ti nyame ahodo wo ho nanso Israel nyankopon we number one. Inti me case so say Deuteronomy 6:4 in the eyes of the ancient Israel, it was not claiming monotheism, but it was saying said the God of Israel is number one. Iti Deuteronomy 6:4 intimi nyina so embo nyame eja nyame oba nyame onkonkron sa gidie no engu ese so obi gi Trinity edia na osom bosom obi gi Trinity dia na onim Bible mu bacho there be entisa yebetumi enya Bible mu baabi a ekremu se onyankopon kwa na onyankopon God is the only one. Yebetumi enya nanso so Deuteronomy 6:4 enyi nyina so say God is the only one. Mamen kan bi say yebenya English translations bi. It is said the Amplified Bible beka say God is the only one. Then so no ewo Hebrew kasemu ne say ye hwene ahwene yesua ya in context. It is not claiming monotheism. It is not even talking about the indivisibility of God, and it is not talking about the eschatological approach that God will be the God of all people. But Deuteronomy 6:4 is saying that God is the number one. It's a Christopher, the bit me Jinawe Sonia Kase, in Yankopon, where number one. I am my bimu woman Yankopon, Nipakubu Munyankopon, Nipahudu Munyankopon Mosumomo, Nancy Yedi Gidi say, Christo Suma Yesumo, in Yankopon I won. He is the number one. We name Bako only the Kaikra number one. That is the ancient interpretation of Deuteronomy 6:4, the original interpretation of Deuteronomy 6:4. God bless you. Share our videos, like and share our videos. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, Osroba TV. Na Unyankopon Israel. Bye bye.